Well, it looks like the Skyrim killer isn't really doing too hot. Avowed was promised to be one of the next big first-person and third-person, if you so choose, RPGs in the field, but despite a very promising early setup and early marketing material, I myself was very excited for this game when they first showed it off, for example. It stumbled again and again and again and again, and courted a great deal of controversy, like for example when their art director stated that he didn't like hiring white people. Which is a brilliant thing to say in this day and age, absolutely. And the later marketing material was not very good looking at all, particularly that weird-ass filter that they placed over everything for some absurd reason. Anyways, the game entered into early access with an enhanced price tag, the streamer tax, and it peaked at about 13,000 players. Now the game has been out fully for well over 24 hours, so this is likely to be our immediately highest peak. Maybe we'll see more come the weekend, but for now, 17,490 seems to kind of be it, which is a fairly small rise overall from its early access period, which I think peaked at, there we go, 13,189. So this then were the super fans, those who were willing to pay a premium price to access the product early. And after that, a fairly small number of new adapters have actually gotten on board with the game afterwards. The game is supposed to have a playtime of, 20 to 30 hours, so there is definitely some people who might have gone through all of it already and therefore have, simply stopped playing, and a lot of this represents fresh sales instead, potentially. But this curve still does not look good, particularly when it compares to Obsidian's previous game, which was Pillars of Eternity. Now, Pillars of Eternity 2 was a game that had a lot of good word of mouth around it, a classical RPG. It peaked at 41,906 players, so over twice as many players as Avowed, and this is a CRPG, a far more niche title from then a beginner studio, basically. Well, beginner. They did have one big triumph to their name, which was of course Fallout New Vegas, which has peaked at, like 3 times the number of players as Avowed, and still does surprisingly good today, considering how old this is, and, it's in essence being a glorified mod version of Fallout 3. But Fallout New Vegas, largely due to the restraints placed upon its development time, is a fantastic game, and it's not even that either. Even Pillars of Eternity 2, which was by pretty much everyone considered to be a straight, massive downgrade from Pillars of Eternity 1, even it is out-peaking Avowed. So this studio has been around for longer and longer, should supposedly have built more and more pedigree, more and more skill, and more fans, and yet the opposite seems to be true. If anything, they appear to have bled interest over the years, despite a remarkable legacy. And of course we could compare this to, the thing it was supposed to kill, which is, that's going to be an unkind comparison, to put it mildly, though, honestly, on the one hand, it feels like an unkind comparison, an uncharitable comparison, because The Elder Scrolls V is the 5th installment in a massively popular and excellent series that stumbled a bit with Oblivion, but has titles like Morrowind in it, which I consider to be one of the best games ever, partially due to nostalgia, mind you, not having played Daggerfall and so on, which, if I had, maybe I'd consider that to be the best, but I consider it an absolute gem to this day, although the combat system is probably dating a bit by now. But Skyrim is of course enormously popular, although it has fallen off over the course of the last 13 odd years, but a very healthy modding market has kept it alive well beyond its expiration date. Not to mention the fact that it has somehow been sold on every system known to man, including, I'm pretty sure, potatoes and notepads. But if you think about it, right, okay, so on one hand, it's unfair, right, because it's a much bigger studio with a much bigger pedigree, but Obsidian too has a hell of a lot of pedigree in their previous games, and you can also then look at the sheerly technical aspect of it. There's been a lot of videos going around comparing Skyrim to Avowed. Things like, for example, how in Avowed you can't kill NPCs. Like the people in the city, you can't kill those. The fact that you don't have physics, for example. You can't sweep stuff off a table with a battle axe. The fact that you don't have arrows that remain in the terrain, so you can build little pictures of arrows and so on. The fact that in Skyrim you can set grass on fire with your fire spells, thing that you can't do in Avowed. All of the various effects and the graphical style of it all, well, Skyrim, a 13-year-old game, is not only comparable to Avowed, it is in fact superior to Avowed in many regards, and that gets more and more difficult to justify, doesn't it? Seeing as, Skyrim used Bethesda's own little rickety-ass engine, whereas this uses Unreal. If anything, they should have even more pre-made tools to put in their game, even more physics, even more particle effects, even more bells and whistles built into the very engine themselves. They should have had an easier time developing this than anything Skyrim would have had, and yet it comes out as a lesser product in length, in quest material, in time spent, in graphics, in physics, in attention to details, in simple style and appearance. As again, God, I did the stream on Avowed, and I could not get, I think I must have complained on like 12 separate times, but the filter that they place over the screen. If you dip underwater and you look up through the water, the world looks good. It looks colorful, it looks magical, fantastical, and mystical. And as soon as you pop your head above the waves, you go, oh, brown and beige. Fantastic. It's mind-boggling. Why would you actively make your game less fantastical looking in a fantasy world occupied by mushroom bears? And just the writing too. Now, I only played it for about 4 or 5 hours or something, but the storyline itself is mushroom zombies. There's mushroom zombies, because a mushroom god is being affected by something that makes its mushroom powers go haywire, and you're gonna have to go through an adventure where at the end you'll be like, oh my god, you were taking over the mushroom god? But why? Well, actually, it was for this kind of good reason, like freeing the living lands. Oh my, how can I kill you now, or can I not? Do I vibe with your morals on this? And they keep telling you this. My mushroom zombies? Wow. Mushroom zombies. Wow. Oh. And the writing as well. I swear to God, it is the most cringeworthy uwu shit I have ever seen. Where you have a block of text going parentheses, put your hand on your sword and raise your eyebrow. Are you threatening me? And parentheses There's a very good reason why very few games do that. It's because it's unfathomably cringe, that's why. So, yeah, it really genuinely does seem as if we've not only been stagnant for 13 years, we have in fact gone backwards. Which is not a very good thing. Not a very good thing at all. And we then add on as well the fact that the producers of Avowed are like, we won't hire white people because we're all a bunch of enormous anti-white racists. It's probably a good thing that the game isn't doing particularly well. Now, admittedly, there might still be an enormous surge around the weekend, possibly, but with the very small increase from the first die-hard people willing to pay a premium, I'd be very surprised, particularly as, despite the games having very good reviews, mind you, not a whole lot of them, but very good reviews, very few people who have actually played it have a whole lot of nice things to say about it. My own impression was that it's just boring. It's a thoroughly mediocre video game, which if you could get it on sale for, $30, maybe 20, it's okay, but full AAA price? for this half-axed linear sandbox pretending to be an open world game? Oh, Jesus Christ, no. Not in a million years. So, Avowed. Do let me know what you think about it in the comments down below, and again, it could rally, but I'd be surprised. Till next time, I've been Arch. Thank you all very much for watching, and I do hope to see you all again soon. Till then, have a good day.